at Marathwada Mitra Mandal College of Pharmacy, Pune. He has done his M Pharm and PhD in pharmaceutics. Has completed his B Pharm course at RTM Nagpur University in 1995 and PG in M Pharm Pharmaceutics from BITS Pilani 1999. Sir has completed his PhD in pharmaceutical sciences from North Maharashtra University Jalgaon in 2010. Sir is having total experience that is in teaching 21 years, as well as his area of research is in CNS targeting, nasal drug delivery systems, then mucoadhesive drug delivery, then solubility enhancement of poorly water soluble drugs, nanoparticulate drug delivery systems. On this research area, Sir has published total 44 international publications in reputed peer-reviewed reputed journals. Sir is having its cumulative impact factor 72.33, and Sir is having total citations 1204. Sir is also a PhD recognized guide of Savitribai Phule Pune University, Pune. Sir has guided for the M Pharm research scholars, that is in 60 numbers, as well as Sir is guiding for the PhD research scholars also. Sir is member of editorial board of various international reputed journals such as American Journal of Nanoscience and Nanotechnology, Journal of Pharmacy Research and Clinical Pharmacy, Journal of Clinical Pharmacology and Toxicology. Sir is also reviewer of some international peer-reviewed journals such as Pharmaceutical Development and Technology, Journal of Pharmacy and Pharmacology, Drug Delivery, that is Taylor and Francis, Journal of Encapsulation, International Journal of Pharmaceutics elsewhere, Journal of Liposome Research, Journal of Molecular Liquids elsewhere. Sir has also filed up till date the 4 patents on his credit, and 2 patents has been published and 2 patents are awaited for the publications. Sir has received of the Professor Madan Mohan Malviya, Professor Mohan Sharma Award, Science and Technology Award in 2019 by Marathi Vigyan Parishad, Mumbai. Sir has also received research grants from various statutory bodies like DST, Department of Science and Technology. Then at university level also Sir has received research grant. Sir has also received a research grant through RPS research scheme from AICT. With this short introduction, today I am requesting to Dr. Avinash Tekade sir to start his session now. Over to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Dr. Rahul Krishna sir, for this wonderful introduction to the audience. Before I start, I would like to heartfelt thanks to the management, Marathwada Mitra Mandal College of Pharmacy, and our respected principals of Dr. M. J. Patil sir, for encouraging to conduct such a webinar in the larger interest of the student, of those who are M Pharm aspirants, who would like to pursue their career or take this admission in M Pharm and selecting a right college and right stream as well as right guide. So most of the times the student, they don't know, they go by their peer or their friends wherever they take an admission. So later they regret and all these things. So it is better to understand why we are selecting this particular stream and particular college, and how to select, how to go about, what is the process of selecting this research place, then topic, guide, etc. And what are the various opportunities, or what is the scope after doing various specialization courses. So this is an attempt to give a little bit of guidance to the M Pharm aspirants, and right from the selection of the stream, college, and then research place, then you guide, and again in short, how to select this research topic in the M Pharm. Okay. So with this, I would like to start my presentation. So I hope it is visible to all of you, the PowerPoint presentation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
very good afternoon to all of you, and warm welcome to this webinar on induction program for M Pharm aspirants, a guidance on selecting specialization, college, that is a research place, and guide. Okay. Okay, so now it might be very clearly visible to all of you. So here, this is an attempt to guide all the M Pharm aspirants on selecting a specialization, college, and guide. So first of all, to begin with, all of us know that various core branches at M Pharm level, postgraduate level, and the question is like $1 million question is what specialization I should select and why? What are the various characteristic or attributes that is required for particular this selecting these particular branches and individual attributes of the student for various branches, that is core branches as well as other allied branches. So out of these core branches, there are 4 branches has been identified as a core pharmacy branches, that is nothing but a pharmacology, pharmaceutics, pharmacognosy, and pharmaceutical chemistry. Beside this, then there is a pharmaceutical quality assurance techniques, and any other branches like there is a M Pharm in analytical chemistry, M Pharm in biotechnology, M Pharm in clinical practice, or that is sometimes it is called as pharmacy practice. And then there is some of the university, there is M Pharm in biopharmaceutics, industrial pharmacy, etc. That is similar to the pharmaceutics only. So out of this, so many alternatives, so many opportunities, or so many courses that are available, the students sometimes wonder, what should I select? Okay. So then most of the times what happens, they select on the basis of like just my friend is going, my best friend is taking this admission to this particular college, to this course, and then that's why I am also joining, I want to join, because they don't have any clear-cut objective or vision, what they want to become after completing this particular post-graduation course, what is their interest, what they actually want to do. Okay, rather than doing that, they just go by like what others people, or that is peer, we can say peer, or that is friends, they are taking admission to this, that's why I am taking admission to that course only, or that particular specialization in that particular college, like that. So later then sometimes it's okay, sometimes they need to regret that why I have selected this particular branch, although I was not interested in that particular thing. So here, these are various branches or specializations or streams, we can say, that are available after B Pharm at postgraduate level, and one should select these branches very carefully, one of the branch, okay, in which they want to do their specialization, their PG course. So now let us see, out of these so many alternatives, what are the various career options, what is the individual or personality attributes that is required to complete that particular course with flying colors, with very good what you can say research experience, or number of good publication and all this thing. Okay, so they have to think like what before they think like what specialization I should select, they have to give a thought on that, and they have to consider a number of things. So let us see one by one. First of all, what are the attributes that are required and what is the scope after completing M Pharm in that particular specialization or stream. So here, first is the pharmacology. Like what is the scope after M Pharm? So that question comes to mind in the student, and it should come into the mind, like what is the scope after doing M Pharm in pharmacology? So first is pharmaceutical industry, and in industry I have given a very few important areas or avenues where you can do a career after doing this M Pharm in pharmacology, and it is a attempt to keep this presentation as simple as possible so that there should not be any ambiguity in your mind after going to this presentation. So scope after M Pharm is pharmaceutical industry, that is preclinical research. That means that is animal, whatever the research you are doing on the animal, that is before clinical research, that is preclinical research, animal experimentation on various animal models, that is called as preclinical research in a pharmaceutical industry. And in most of the industries, this preclinical research, there is huge scope and number of people are required to carry out this preclinical research, because that is the first stage before clinical trials. The next is clinical trials. Nowadays, in India, number of companies, they are preferring this, our country, to carry out this clinical trials because of so many reasons, like some of the cost and all these things that is involved in carrying out clinical trials, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and ease with which they can enroll the subject and all. Then next is product management team, that is actually supporting to the marketing team, and also assisting that, or I can say a team that actually performing in the field and sales and rectifying their problems and talking to the doctors, customers who are very qualified in that particular field. And that is again there is a medical division, we can say, in some of the company. Medical division is there that supports or that gives input to these various sales as well as marketing. And another is academics, where one can do a research in academics also, academic. So academic, that is teaching as well as research, that is a blend of both. So this is what I can say broadly, that is a scope after completing M Pharm pharmacology. Now, after knowing the scope, we should think, all the students who are M Pharm aspirant, they should think of like what are the qualities that are required or I must have so that I can do this pharmacology, M Pharm pharmacology, and with a very good, or we can say flying colors, or with a very good output, that is a research output in terms of publication and patent. So that the qualities that are required, or we can say personal attributes that are required for completing pharmacology or M Pharm pharmacology, is one should have a deep knowledge of human anatomy physiology, because unless and until you don't understand human anatomy physiology, or you don't have an interest in that, it will be a little bit difficult to pursue the M Pharm pharmacology in that particular M Pharm in pharmacology. So next, that is quality that is required, attribute that is required, is animal handling skill. Animal handling skill means you should at B Pharm level. Now, although there is a practicals are not there in the syllabus, but still by videos and all these things, by attending various webinars, seminars, various like just like a webinar, online webinars where there is a how to handle the animals, that skills are shown, at least if not perform, but then you can see. So that particular skill that one should have. Next is patience, discipline, and ability to work hard, because in this particular pharmacology, there is a sometimes these models are 1 week model, 2 week model. Sometimes the dosing you have to give to the animals, that is for 24 hours, sometimes at the midnight or every 1 hour, like that. And so one should have that particular patience and discipline and ability to work hard, so that there should not be single dose should not miss, otherwise you will not get accurate result and all. So, and after that, one should have knowledge or of statistic or interest in statistic, because whatever study or whatever data that is generated, you have to apply the statistic. Otherwise, unless and until you don't apply statistic, you cannot say that this particular thing is better or we can say significant than the other group. Whatever your treatment group, whatever you are giving to that one group, which is called as treatment group, that and comparing with the test group. So whether the results are significant and that are not by the chance, but that is because of the treatment that is given. So these are the qualities you have to look into yourself. If you see that all of these qualities are present to that, you love that particular subject, human anatomy, physiology, you want to know the mechanism, or you are interested in understanding the mechanism of drug action, that is how this drug act, okay, and animal handling skill, patient discipline and ability to work hard, and interest in statistics, knowledge of statistics, you can think of doing pharmacology. So these are minimum qualities that are required, attributes that are required. These are what is a representative. Beside that, number of things are there, like your organizing skill, your planning ability, and then like your presentation skill, writing, so many things that over a period you can learn while doing this M Pharm. But these are the minimum requirement, or you can look into yourself and see that how many skills I am having. Okay. After that, next is pharmaceutics. So what is the scope after M Pharm, pharmaceutics? So here again, there's pharmaceutical manufacturing. One can go in a production, because nowadays there is a need like M Pharm pharmaceutics, and they are preferred in a manufacturing because there is a lot of changes that has takes place. There is a lot of advancement. Earlier there was diploma B Pharm that used to be sufficient for doing that particular job in the pharmaceutical manufacturing. The next is formulation development, that is M Pharm pharmaceutics are preferred. Okay, but then not necessarily that all other branches, they can also work in formulation development, and industry that do not discriminate. They can take pharmacognosy or pharmacology also is a formulation scientist, because they have knowledge of pharmaceutics and all these things, and the B Pharm they studied on. Okay. Next is another division is where we can work after M Pharm pharmaceutics, technology transfer. Then novel drug delivery system research, regulatory affairs, and again academics, academic research, teaching plus research, and where you can do publication, patent, and you can bring write a research proposal for funding, generating funding, and all this. So what are the personality attributes that are required for doing M Pharm pharmaceutics? First thing is again sound knowledge of fundamentals of formulation development, especially knowledge of drug delivery principles, and the knowledge of physical pharmaceutics, or we can say PP, that is popularly known as physical pharmaceutics. So these are the basic interests in the fundamentals of formulation development, and these physical pharmaceutics have such a syllabus that has been designed that one can, if thorough knowledge of this physical pharmaceutics is there, they can be a good, what you can say, M Pharm pharmaceutics, they can come out as a good M Pharm pharmaceutics student, scholars. The next is ability to work hard and should be a team player. Here, ability to work hard, and he or she should be a team player. Ability to work in a team, because all this research activity, it is a team endeavor rather than an individual. Next is hardworking. You can find that is hardworking. This is a common to irrespective of the branches and discipline. Wherever you go for PG level or PhD level, you can say there should be hardworking. There is no any alternative or substitute for hardworking. Coming to the next, that is pharmacognosy specialization. What is the scope after M Pharm pharmacognosy? Then first is there's a pharmaceutical industry. There is again herbal industries, manufacturing, formulation development, it is herbal formulation. Again, regulatory affairs. This is again a field where any branch, irrespective of branch, anybody can go in the regulatory affairs, documentation, and of course in academics, research and development activity. Now, similar to all other branches, what are the personality attributes that are required? First is interest for the subject. In every discipline, one should have that interest in that particular subject. That is a basic requirement. The next is good knowledge of the subject and the skills required for that particular subject, like TS, taking TS and all this thing, and number of skills that are required for requisition for that particular subject. Hardworking nature and should be a team player. So these are again attributes, some of the attributes that are common to irrespective of all the specializations. Next core branch at M Pharm level is pharmaceutical chemistry. The next, the scope after this M Pharm in pharmaceutical chemistry is in a pharmaceutical industry again, that is bulk drug manufacturing, manufacturing of active pharmaceutical ingredient API, that is nothing but a bulk drug manufacturing, quality control and quality assurance. That is again important role, it plays important role in pharmaceutical industry, controlling the quality control as well as assuring the quality of the product. And also in the scientists in national laboratories, then regulatory affairs, research and development, and academic sector. So these are the scope. This is the scope after pharmaceutical chemistry, M Pharm pharmaceutical chemistry, and like other personality attributes that are required is again interest in the subject, good knowledge of organic chemistry, hard-working nature, then ability to again work in a team. That is again common, because again a lot of work, hard work you have to put while synthesizing various compounds, active pharmaceutical ingredients, and you should be able to again like structure elucidation, for making a scheme for synthesizing that particular substance, you should have a good knowledge of organic chemistry. So these are some of the requirement, this is scope as well as the personality attributes required for various subjects if you want to do specialization in that particular subject. Now, beside this core subject, now coming to any other specialization other than core branches, for example, pharmaceutical quality assurance, M Pharm biotechnology, clinical pharmacy, or that is also called as pharmacy practice, M Pharm in somewhere, there is some colleges there is M Pharm analytical chemistry. Okay. Beside that, I told you like M Pharm in industrial pharmacy, biopharmaceutics, which is again similar to that pharmaceutics, pharmacology like that. So all these other branches also, other than core branches, the common thing is like interest for that particular subject. For example, if you want to do M Pharm biotechnology, you should have that interest into that biotechnology, not only theoretically, but you should practically, whether you are able to do, then identifying the college, whether all the facilities required, okay. Then clinical pharmacy, then analytical chemistry, every branch. Okay, so interest in that branch is a very, very important criteria. Then scope after M Pharm is again slightly here and there. We can say pharmaceutical quality assurance. They can go in QA, quality assurance, or quality control, or the regulatory affairs, documentation. In case of biotechnology, if you do, you can go in a biotechnological industries like Biocon, Shanta Biotech. Many biotechnology industries are there. In clinical pharmacy practice, here you can get an opportunity to go abroad. Okay, because this is more like clinical oriented or patient centered specialization. And then analytical chemistry, where you can again go in quality control, quality assurance, as well as regulatory affairs and other branches. So this scope here and there, we can say slightly one or two that maybe changes, but then most of the thing is like common, either quality control, quality testing, quality assurance, or manufacturing, pharmaceutical industry, etc. So these personality attributes required here and there are similar. Like in case of analytical chemistry, you should have that ability to work hard, because you have to work like LCMS, HPLC and all this thing, which is a very time consuming. It takes your patience for 1 hour, 2 hours, you keep on giving washing to the column, and then you carry out your analysis, then bioanalysis, that is bioanalytical. So a lot of techniques that are involved there, and a lot of hard work is involved in all these branches, maybe it is whether core branches or other than core branches. So you have to first and foremost thing, you have to see that is what is, am I interested in this particular specialization, really interested, or just my friend is saying that's why I'm joining that because I'm getting at this particular college. I don't want to do that specialization, but since I'm getting a top college, that's why I'm taking it. Okay, so you have to think, you have to critically think on that, and also you have to look into the scope after M Pharm, and whether you really want to do that career, pursue your career in that particular field, and whether your personality attributes suit that particular industry, suit that particular area where you want to actually pursue your post-graduation. I hope up to this is clear. First and foremost thing, like various branches that everybody you know that, but then like what is the attribute, what are the qualities that a student must have to pursue that particular specialization. These are the broad qualities, and all this there are certain qualities like that is organizing things and all that you can learn over a period during your 2 years of post-graduation. So if it is clear that, I hope everybody is clear in that on this specialization and personality attributes that are required to do that specialization in that particular area. Now coming to the next part, that is after once you decided that what specialization I want to pursue my M Pharm in. So then next is, what about this college? Research place. How to select college or research place where I want to take an admission, and whether I'll get that admission on the basis of my score or not, that also we have to consider. Okay, not only enough that what we want actually, but then our score also, that should be again that should be sufficient to get that admission into that particular college. So you have to see both the things together, hand in hand. So first is NIRF ranking, that is nowadays the central government of India have started that ranking the institutes, as well as National Institute Ranking Framework. Okay, NIRF ranking status of the institute. What is the ranking? Whether it is in first 10, first 25, 50 or 100 among the thousands of colleges that are there in the in India. Okay, so you have to see, you can go to the website, college website, and you can see that what is the ranking, what is NIRF ranking status of that college. Next thing is NBA status, that is National Board of Accreditation or NAG accreditation, National Assessment and Accreditation Council. This NBA and NAC accreditation status that ensured that these various policies, various whatever things that everything that is in place, that is infrastructure facility is there, then faculty is there, then there is a research is there, research is going on, other facilities are there. Okay, so everything is there, and that gives you idea about that college is having like basic things and more than basic things. Like it is, since it is accredited, means it is insurance that everything is in place, and it is a good college, and quality activities are carried out there. Next is again UGC University Grant Commission, DSIR recognition, Department of Scientific and Industrial Research recognition, that recognize you on scientific Council for Scientific and Industrial Research and all the national laboratories, and also give a status of scientific and industrial research organization to even a private institute. So the status of this UGC and DSIR recognition, that also you can see on the website of that college where you want to take an admission. Next is PhD Research Center, whether that college where you want to take an admission is a PhD Research Center, PhD Research Center or not. If PhD Research Center is there, that means it ensure again that availability of the all infrastructure and supporting of facilities, as well as there is certain PhD scholars, they are also conducting their research, doing their research in that particular research laboratory, and they can also be, that can be also helpful for you, because they are, what can I say, guide you wherever you find any difficulty, because directly you cannot every time, sometimes your guide will not be free available for you. So these are the, this is a link between that PhD research scholars is a link between that M Pharm scholar and that faculty, that is a research guide or mentor. So if PhD Research Center is there, that has been recognized by the university, and again that is an insurance that there are adequate facilities are there to carry out the research, not only at PG level but PhD research also. The next is permanent affiliation with the affiliating university. Whether that institute or college you want to pursue an M Pharm is permanently affiliated with the affiliating university, because again there is a process that affiliating university that carried out to give that permanent affiliation, and again they look after this infrastructure, faculty, that research activities and other facilities that are available in the institute or not. Okay. So beside this, there is a conducive environment, whether that institute is having an environment, research environment, or conducive or good environment for the research to be done, research work to be carried out. And then next is, what are the achievements, that are research achievements as well as awards of the institute. Okay. So how frequently that research activities are going on. So you can see on the website how many papers has been published, how many patents are there, what are various awards that institute has got or faculty has got in that area of research. Okay. And what is the research area that we have to also see that particular college, because different college or different faculty members, they are working in a particular group in one particular area, one or two area, or more than 2 or 3 area maximum. Okay, so because it takes sometimes lifetime to work in particular area, and still you want to achieve something or you want to find out something, you cannot see that everything you understand. So what are the research achievements or awards of that institute you have to look into, consider into this thing. So another is infrastructure and other facilities. Infrastructure means not only you can see that laboratories, or not only that walls or the building and that the way building looks, but it is actually what equipments are there, whether the equipments are all are working condition or not, whether what kind of research work is going on there, what are other facilities like animal house, then your library, okay, and freedom to use all these facilities, that is also required. You have to ensure that you have to see that availability of the instrument is not only sufficient, but whether that is available to all the students, whether the student can access that instrument, whether it is sophisticated equipment or whether other facilities like animal house and all, and whether it is like whether having institutional animal ethics committee or not, whether there are regular animal experimentation is carried out or not, because unless and until you don't carry out animal experiment, your work only will not be sufficient. Your in vitro work will not be sufficient, or nobody will accept that. You have to prove that your whatever result you got in vitro, they are similar result you are getting in vivo. in the animal model also. So this is, we can say, other facilities like library, animal ethics committee, etc. Next is availability of number of guides in the area of specialization you want to pursue. Okay, suppose you want to pursue M Pharm in pharmacology or pharmaceutical chemistry or pharmaceutical quality assurance. So number of guides in that area of specialization in that particular institutes, and what is their area of research. Okay, because if you are having certain interest, you want to do like carrying out this research in particular area, you have to see that what kind of, or where, in which college, or which professor is working in that particular area, so as to match that particular. And then next is career development activities, because only research or academic is not sufficient. Beside that, that college, whether it try to make you a complete like professional, and by providing various opportunities for career development activities and conduct various courses, maybe certificate courses, or make all various industry experts and deliver lectures to bridge that gap between like academic and industry, and that kind of activities are whether going on, if it is going on, then how frequently they are going on, that is very important. So these are certain points, these are key points, I must say. These are the points where you can think seriously, and for that you have to see the your websites of that particular institutes, and you have to do a literature search that, and before selecting a college or research place to carry out your specialization. Now after college, then there is a selecting a guide. Next is selecting guide. How to select a guide? This facility you may not get in all the colleges. Because college, selecting college, it's in your hand, but in sometimes some colleges there are different systems, they are followed by different colleges. Okay, so not necessarily that everybody will get, like if you so everybody wants one particular guide, it will not be possible, it will not be visible also, it will not be possible. Okay, there are constraints are there in that, but some colleges there is a they give a priority, they give a preference to on the merit wise selecting a guide and all this thing. In some of the autonomous university, for example Pilani and all this thing, so there is a one can select depending on like higher marks and all, one can have a preference to select particular guide. Okay, so in that case, if it is there, one can select, consider the area of research interest of that particular research guide, in what area he is working, what work he is doing. Am I interested to that work? Am I really? If you are interested, then it's a very good thing. So area of a research interest you can see again by seeing the faculty profile and the college website. Next is publication and patents in the area of research interest. How many publication or patents the guide or faculty member is having in that area of research interest, his area of research interest. And next is then H index. That is the Hirsch index. It is called a Hirsch index. It corresponds to scientist H of his or her n number papers and have been cited at least H times each, while the rest of the n papers have less than H citation each. Okay, you'll not understand this definition at this point. Okay, and there is no need to understand also. In simple, you can see that H index means how many papers, like suppose one individual is having 100 papers and his 30 papers has been cited by people, but each at 30 times, each paper 30 times, because 30 researchers have referred his paper and they cite his paper into their research work. That is called as, you can say its H index is 30 out of 100. And other papers they are having less than, cited less than 30 times. Okay, 10 times, 20 times like that. So in broad, H index is a measure or scale where we can measure the research, or we can say credibility of that researcher or guide. Okay, higher the H index, better is the what you can say, mentor or guide. Then I-10 index, it refers to the number of papers with 10 or more citation. Your research paper or M Pharm, your senior research paper, how many times it has been what you can say, cited by people. Okay, one paper cited by 10 people, you can say that is one index. 10 papers are cited by 10 or more than 10, you can say I-10 index is 10, like that. The next is total citation. Whatever paper you have published, say one faculty member XYZ published 50 papers, 50, and citation are thousands, like 5,000. So that is total citation. Okay, that more the citation, that is a good, means more people are referring his research work, and that means that research is in the main streamline area, okay, in the current area. And then is cumulative impact factor. Impact factor is a measure of the quality of the journal. Okay, if the journal is having 5 impact factor, that quality of that journal is considered as very good. And similarly, one paper in 5 impact, one paper in 2, one paper in 3. In this way, we can say total cumulative impact factor is 10. And then next is feedback from the past students. So this H index, I-10 index, total citation, you will not understand right now, but then if you have to see, if you have to select that, you can select that, you can see that actually on that website. Okay, you can see on Google Scholar. Okay, you can see on PubMed Central what area, what publication he or she is having, and total citation, that is on Google Scholar. If you go visit and put the name of that faculty member, you can get all this biodata, and where total citation, cumulative impact factor, I-10 index, S index, etc. Everything will be given, and that will help you in selecting guide if you got that opportunity or if you get that freedom to select. Next is feedback from the past students. You can ask the previous students, if you know somebody from that college, you are passing out from that, so they'll give you feedback about the college or about the research work, about the faculty member, about the environment, about the facilities, and the freedom to use that facilities as well as equipment, whatever infrastructure. Okay, so these are the various criteria for selecting guide, how to select guide, or these are key points where you can search in the college website or in other like publications, or you can see in Google Scholar. Okay. So I hope this is clear about the various criteria for selecting a college and selecting a guide. Is that okay? I guess yes. Nobody is responding. That means I think everybody understood, and so we can move on to the next. That is the quality of publications of that faculty or that college, for that matter. You can check on PubMed Central. This is a, if you put into the Google PubMed Central, you will get that website PubMed Central, and you can put any faculty's name there, and you can get number of publications, his or her number of publication, and from that title, sometimes you get full paper, sometimes you will not get full paper or abstract. From the title, you will get idea in what particular area he or she is working. Another is Google Scholar, where you can get find out H index that we have discussed earlier, I-10 index, cumulative factor, citation, total citation. You can get into that Google Scholar website. I'll show you how to see that once this presentation is over. We'll finish with the presentation, and then I'll show how to check that particular data, whatever we have discussed, like H index, I-10 index, cumulative factor, total citation, and the publications of that faculty or researcher in that PubMed Central website. Now, before we see that PubMed Central and Google Scholar and how to see that various data that you want to see, we'll see, discuss on selecting a research topic. Suppose you have selected college, you selected a guide, you got a guide that you wish to work with, and now next is what about selecting a research topic? How should I select research topic? What should be, what is the step-by-step process of selecting research topic, and how, what should be the research topic and what should not be? So selection of a suitable problem is one of the most difficult phases of any research project. Selecting problem, that is where you want to work, actually what you want to do, that is a very difficult phase. Okay, but then beginners like researcher, when you carry out a B Pharm project in a B Pharm, earlier there was a project at third year or final year B Pharm, or even in M Pharm also beginner, M Pharm, that is a beginning research only. PhD, okay, that is only a little bit advanced. So beginners much likely to select problem that is too broad in scope. The question is why? Beginners, that is at M Pharm level, if your career, you're doing career, selecting M Pharm, so which is a course, like it is partly by paper and partly by research. In first year, you will get paper and research. In second year, you will get
Hello. Hello. Because of some technical issue, sir has left the meeting. Sir will get rejoined. Just wait for 2 minutes. Hello.
Hello.
Sir is
Sir
joining
is joining
again because
again
of some
because of
technical issues. Sir has
issues.
left the
Sir has left
meeting.
the meeting.
Just wait for 2 minutes. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Continue now.
Okay. Sorry.
Yes, sir. You can
Yeah.
continue now.
Okay. Sorry for some technical issue. There is a problem. So this is related to selecting a research topic. It should be feasible, economical. It can complete in a 1 year time. The next is characteristic of research and activities of a researcher. Since you are going to take an admission for a M Pharm, and that is a partly by paper, partly by research, you should know a little bit about the research. Hmm? Share. Share. Okay. So coming to this characteristic of research and activities of a researcher, since you are taking admission to M Pharm course, which is partly by paper, partly by research, you should know little bit about the research and activities of researchers that are regularly undertaken. So research is more often a team endeavor than an individual activity. It is not an individual activity. Till now, you have done like individually, means although teacher taught you, but then examination and all you have to write on your own. You have to write a paper. But here, in the second year of M Pharm, you have to do that activity together with you and your guide. So that's why it is a team endeavor, okay, and not an individual activity. So the researchers working in a group tackle these problems in many ways, rather than individually if you are doing, and if some work we are doing in a group, they tackle a problem in many ways and pooling their knowledge and ideas and sharing the results of their efforts. So always you might have seen that whoever various research groups they got recognition and all, they have shown like their work in a group. Okay, more than 2, 3, 4 people. Right? Okay, so that is a team endeavor. Highly publicized discoveries usually result from the cumulative efforts of many working as a team over long periods of time. If you see, and like Nobel laureates and all, this year recently it has been declared. You can see that they have worked for 30 years, 40 years together, maybe in the same laboratory or maybe different laboratories. They are doing a particular area, and then only they can get that particular result because of their cumulative efforts of many people over a period of time. And great discoveries rarely happen by accident. When they do, the researcher is usually well-grounded. When it happens by accident, the researcher is usually well-grounded and possesses the ability to recognize the significance of these occurrences. Significance is why it is happening. They should be able, they should be prepared, their mind should be prepared to understand if certain discoveries are happened by accident. Okay. He or she, that researcher, should be imaginative enough to seize the opportunity presented and to carry it through to thoroughly to a fruitful conclusion. For example, Pasteur observed that chance favors the prepared mind. Louis Pasteur, he observed that chance, that is a luck also, that is accident also, that happen to the prepared mind only. Not anybody can be a like an accidental scientist and all. Okay, because they are prepared, their mind is prepared, and they understand, interpret that particular and understand the significance of that occurrences. So researchers are specialists rather than generalists. So that's why many people are work in a particular core area, one small area, they explore that one small area to the fullest. That's why they are specialists in one particular area rather than having knowledge of too many things. Okay, that is like we can say, that is saying is there, that is jack of all, master of none. So they analyze limited aspects of broad problems. Okay, that is specialization. They're specialist researchers. So research is more than compiling, counting, and tabulating data. It is many times it has been misinterpreted that research is nothing but compiling so many information from various papers, counting it and tabulating that data. It's not like that. Okay. And research, however, is a process of testing rather than proving. So it is a process of testing the hypothesis rather than proving that what you are doing is always true. May not be, your hypothesis may not be true. Whatever your assumption is there on the basis of your theoretical knowledge, it may not be always true. Okay, so you have to test that. Whatever you are thinking, like this is my hypothesis. If I do like this, I should get this kind of result. Okay, but not necessarily that you are getting that, and that's why it is a process of testing rather than proving that. And also it implies objectivity that lets the data lead where they will. So that data will lead to them actually, and not by like this thing, what can say, saying that no, my hypothesis is there, it should be like that, and that way only. It should not like that. Whatever the objectivity, whatever the result that they got, accordingly, they have to interpret that. And finally, that levels of research project. So there are a number of levels of research project. Like you are at beginner level, M Pharm, if you are going to do M Pharm, so that is a beginner level where choice of problem depends upon the level at which the research is to be done. Okay, so it's not like that at M Pharm level where there's a 1 year, you have to complete 1 year research project at 1 year. If you have given the problem that needs 3 years time, so it will not be feasible, it will not be possible for you. A lot of expenses also involved into that, and you cannot do that degree for 5 years for M Pharm, which is a 2-year degree. Okay, so your PhD program, PhD research work cannot be given to the M Pharm, or M Pharm work will not be sufficient to give you a PhD degree. So this choice of a problem depends upon the level at which the research is to be done. Okay, that means at the PG level, M Pharm level, PhD level, postdoctoral level, or even senior researchers who are established, or senior professor who are having 30 years, 20 years of research experience in the field. Through working with the faculty members on a research projects, here the student will be able to make a contribution and learn at the same time. So learning means here student, while working with the faculty, senior faculty or researcher or mentor or guide, they make their own contribution. Student will contribute into that and learn at the same time, not only that particular research, but also other things like organizing the things that are required to carry out the research. Okay, planning the things, organizing the thing, then writing that particular research work, that is writing skill, and then presenting that whatever the findings to the audience who is interested into that their research. Okay, so these skills are studied or that can be learned by the student. So it is not only the research work, but all these small minor things that are very important that you should be able to learn while working with your research guide. Some students choose a first problem that can be expanded later into a more comprehensive treatment at the PG and PhD level. Suppose earlier in Pune University there was project at the final year. So some of the project, if the student find that they want to continue in that, and their research guide also think, okay, that is no problem. we can go ahead. That is a good topic. So they can explore that at a higher level, at a PG level. They can carry out finding more and more deeper into that particular problem, and then also that can be continued at PhD level. In other cases, it may not be. Whatever the B Pharm project that was there, that may not be suitable, found suitable by the research guide and all this thing at PG level, or whatever carried out at PG level may not be again work out into PhD level. PhD level project may be something different, because it is a mutually, it has to be agreed upon. Mutually, it has to be decided. It should not be enforced. That guide should not enforce the student, now you should do this only, or student should not say that no, I want to do in this particular area only. So it should be mutually agreed, decided topic. Okay. So here in this case, like in UG to PG to PhD, the first study that serves as an exploratory process and which can be explored further to the various levels of the research. Okay. So these are about the levels of the research project. So that was very important to know all these things. Actually, you will not, some of the things you will not understand at this particular point, but then at least you will get some idea about how to search these various websites. Okay, how to find out like this colleges, what are facilities there is, what facilities they are having, how many faculty members are there, what is their area of interest, what is their whatever parameters we have discussed earlier for selecting a college as well as faculty, and again selecting a topic. What should be, how should be the topic should be, and how it should not be. If you understand these things also, I think this presentation it will be a fruitful from my point of view. I think it will be successful. If some 2 or 3 or 5 people, if they get an insight out of from this particular presentation, and they will be able to select the stream of their interest and college as well as guide. Next, finally, for doing anything, like there is a money is required, scholarship that motivates us, and people get motivated. Students who get like qualified GPAT or NIPER or various other examinations, they get a stipend. AICT gives stipend for GPAT scholars, that is 12,400 per month. There is other scholarships for SC/ST candidates where the income limit is like when income is below 2.5 income of their parents or total income of household income, they can get like scholarship. Okay, and then other scholarship for OBC, that is 50% of the tuition fee, 50% waiver is there that the government contributes into that. Then SBC and VJNT, when income is below 1 lakh, there's only development fees need to be paid. All other scholarship, you get a scholarship for that. And other for open and SCBC candidate, there is a scholarship, but the criteria is income of a parent or household income should be less than 8 lakh. So here, everything right from, I try to touch upon everything upon right from the selection of the stream, like availability of various streams, and then what are the main streams, that is the 4 courses. Core courses we can say, other courses, what is the scope after that, and what is the attributes, personal attributes students should have in them, okay, or inculcate to develop, okay, and learn, as well as then how to select these college, how to select the research guide if they get an opportunity, or okay, and then finally what are the scholarships that are available to complete this particular post graduation. And which is a very much prerequisite everywhere nowadays, preferred. M Pharm is preferred over B Pharm, because this is altogether a different course. This M Pharm, you can go into the research and all these things. Okay, but after B Pharm, it is not only, you cannot go to the research. Because higher education is always required, higher research, the level, like PhD is more suitable again. Okay, but then minimum post graduation PG is required if you want to go in F&D, if you go to R&D or regulatory affairs, or for that matter any other field. Okay. So scholarship available, that also that ease the burden, economic burden of the students, their parents, and they can do their higher education with what you can say less economical, let's say, finances involved. Minimum contribution from their side can help them getting this postgraduate degree. So that's all from my side about all this presentation of guidance on for M Pharm aspirants in selecting the specialization, that is stream, college, guide, and what points should be considered, and what are the required attributes for the students, from the students' point of view. Okay, so that's all. Thank you very much. Thank you for patient listening. If you have any queries, question, you can ask. This session is open for
Yes,
discussion.
session is now. So I'm requesting to all the students, those who are having any question regarding with the M admission M Pharm course to take their decision. Definitely, by listening this all the presentation, they can ask the question directly to the sir, or even in chat box also you can put your questions. If any doubt is there, you can ask in the chat box also. Yes, students
Excuse me,
can
sir.
ask the questions now. Yes, sir.
So this is a PubMed Central
Yes, sir.
website. I told like how to see. Suppose you can put the name of the researcher here, and you can get all publications, and where you can see the area of research, what type of publications, what type of research that researcher is involved in. So 100 or thousands of whatever papers are there, you can put any name and you will get that information. That you can, from the title, you get an idea like in what area that particular researcher is having their work presence. Similarly, the Google Scholar profile also is there where you can find out all that H index and whatever I-10 index, etc. Okay, sir, that's all.
Sir, there is a one question.
Yes.
The students Aishwarya Mahangade, she has asked one question.
Okay.
What is the difference between M Pharmacy and MS? As there are two different courses for pharmacology.
Yes. Very good question. Here, as far as this syllabus and everything is concerned, structure is concerned, if you see M Pharm pharmacology and MS pharmacology, there is not much difference is there. Only that degree that we are getting is M Pharm and MS. Now, earlier days, there was some problem like MS that was not considered for academics and all these things earlier, but now equivalence has been given. But earlier only that is required for if you want to do a job in academic, there must be M Pharm in pharmacology, and MS pharmacology was not considered. But now as such there is no problem. There is equivalence is there. Most of the university has given the equivalence. So as far as only the university to university, autonomous university is there, they can frame their syllabus slightly like advanced one, it will be different than the conventional university. Okay, so every year they can change in autonomous university. Okay, they have that freedom. But here, conventional or state university or central university, that periodically that update of that syllabus is periodic, maybe after 3 years, maybe after 5 years. Okay, now it is a uniform syllabus from Pharmacy Council of India. So now it is slight here and there. There is differences. They can incorporate some changes here and there, but most of the syllabus is same because it is a common syllabus that has been given by the Pharmacy Council of India. Only difference can be made at the research second year, where you carry out that research. It depends upon your team and your guide and the area in which you carry out the work, what kind of work you carry out, what kind of result you got, what is the publication or outcome of your work, pattern, etc. That only differentiate.
Thank you, sir. So one
Thank
more
you.
question is there.
Okay.
The student Kishore Mengde, he has asked one question. That is, in which subject actually more vacancies are there in academics for M Pharm students? That he has
Okay.
asked.
Actually, as far as the subjects are concerned, all subjects are they are good. But the only thing is the question, the way is asked, that is an academics point of view. So nowadays, little bit scenario is different. As Pharmacy Council of India has given the syllabus, so slightly. But then pharmaceutics and pharmaceutical chemistry are these subjects are more right from first year to final year. And now pharmacology is also more subjects are included in the syllabus by the PCR. So now pharmaceutics, four branches you can see, pharmaceutics and chemistry. There are more. And then pharmacology and finally after that pharmacognosy. But then as far as course is concerned, all courses, there is nothing like you can say this is not good and this is that. But oh, vacancy wise, if you see, there might be some more vacancy will be there in pharmaceutics or pharmaceutical chemistry as compared to other subjects.
Yes, sir.
Specialization again at PG level, what PG level that particular college is having, there will be more people will be there, how many vacancies are there. So more people, number of people will be required. Suppose M Pharm pharmacology is there, PhD center is there also there in pharmacology. So more people, more faculty members will be required in that. If it is in pharmacognosy, more number of M Pharm seats, PhD candidates enrolled are more. So there will be more number of people will be required also for the recruitment.
Yes, sir. Thank you. One more question is there by our
Okay.
student Niranjan Gade,
Hmm.
that he has asked how much is the scope for the M students, particularly in industries, pharma industries, for the research and development department?
Research
Is
and
there
development,
M
particular specialization or any
No,
general.
just for the PG students, yes.
Okay. For the PG student, in R&D, if you see in the core R&D, if the chemistry is there, suppose there's a for synthesis, synthetic research and all those companies which are involved in a new chemical entity research, NCE research, synthesizing a new chemical molecule and coming with their patented molecule. So there is a huge number of people are required as a synthetic chemistry scientist. Okay. If you see pharmaceutics, formulation development, there is F&D. And so there is no like R&D. You can say it is a formulation development, novel drug delivery system, and NDPS is there. Some company has separate department like novel drug delivery system, where again there are more number of people are required. Okay. Then analytical chemistry is also because when new molecule comes, analytical method development, validation. So in their analytical chemistry department also there is a analytical R&D. So there is a more number of people are. And even in preclinical research also, pharmacology, preclinical people are required. More number of people are required to carry out preclinical research. So it depends on the industry and the what you can say, how big that industry is, what facilities they are having, how many number of people they can accommodate or what you can say appoint, and what is the requirement for the industry, how many molecules they are having, how many molecules they are synthesizing, how many clinical studies are going on, particularly how many molecules. So it is opportunities for each and every subject. Okay, some here and there we can say depending on that particular time period and need of the company. In herbal industry, pharmacology people are required. In herbal industry, herbal formulation development. Okay, and nowadays various phytomedicine. That most of the people, there are people even we are exporting to the various countries, developed countries and all. So everywhere there are opportunities for M Pharm. Obviously, there are opportunities are there. More opportunities are there for PG at research R&D or F&D or whatever analytical.
Thank you, sir. One more question is there by Aishwarya Mahangade. She has asked, uh, right now at UG level, how to increase the knowledge about the research and what should we do apart from the academic syllabus?
At the undergraduate level, that like whenever you are in third, final year, depending on interest, if you want, you can. Whenever there is a spare time, you get a free time. Whenever there is no lecture or something, you get off lecture, whatever. If you are really interested, you can join with your seniors, like who are doing a PG work, M Pharm level. They are working on particular area. Second year student M Pharm, they are carrying out their work. You just try to help them. Go to them, ask them what you are doing. Okay, what is your objective? What is your research? Tell me in short. Can I help you? By helping them also, just like I told in the presentation, like student learn by helping the teacher or researcher while doing work with them, and simultaneously they can learn a lot of things. not only research related, but also writing skills, presentation skills, so many things they can. Similarly, here at undergraduate level, these students can, if they can work with the MPharm students, senior students, and they can help them. They can try to know what they are doing, and slowly they can develop an interest into that particular subject, and they can do better, or they can at least learn in advance certain things or skills that that will be useful for them at the PG level when they take an admission at PG course. So that will be like a foundation course like.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, one more question is there. That is from Surabhi Jarare,
Okay.
and she asked, if our further guidance, how can we contact you, sir, and a beginner, how to start the research? Definitely, we'll put the contact details of Dr. Avinash Tekade, sir. And one question is there, how to start a research also, how to start a research for the beginners.
So that's why I included in my presentation like it is
Yes.
a for beginners. What beginners usually they are in the like state of they want a lot many things to do, and that's why they take a lot of a bigger problem statement because they want to do this that because this is I'm telling you experience of some people. They try to do right from the plant isolation of the material from the plant, then it is formulating, then they are taking the pharmacology clinical research, and then again clinical trial. They want to go up to clinical trials also because they don't know what are the regulatory guidelines, the regulatory permission. So this is a very bigger topic, right? From the isolation, from the phytomedicine, from the particular or extract of the herbal, and then purification of that, and then formulating, and then evaluating in vitro, then evaluating in animal models, and then for going for clinical and all. So this is beginner usually take this mistake, do this mistake, and that's why it is a team. That's why where the wherever there's a problem that beginners don't understand how to select the topic. There is a guide is there. There is a role of a guide or mentor comes where you can guide to that student that no, this is a bigger problem statement for the level of research work we are doing at the MPharm level. Within 1 year, it will not be feasible, it will not be economical, you cannot complete your project or MPharm degree in time. So we should better take some smaller problem, okay, and we can go deeper into that. And you can see that it should be able to complete within stipulated time.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Surabhi Savi, she is also one of the students from our college. She has asked, sir, is M Pharm in QA better than doing a job in it right after B Pharm?
And come QA,
Is a
then doing
better
job in, sorry,
doing a job in it right after B Pharm?
always better to continue your education from with post graduation. Because later, sometimes I have seen like many students that after doing 2 years, 3 year job in the industry, and they ladder they come to know that at some level I don't got much work opportunities, and many people are there in MPharm and they are getting promoted and all these things. I should do MPharm. So after doing 3, 4 years later, it is better to complete at a straight to continuation. It is always better if you can do that. If you don't have any constraint, financial or otherwise, it is better to do post graduation continuously at a straight. Okay, maybe whatever specialization he or she may be interested in. But then again, interest, you have to literally see, critically think like whether you are really interested into that particular subject or just for the sake of all other people are doing, everybody is going or rushing to that particular subject. That's why you are also taking. Okay. So I must say it is a post graduation is always better. In the long run, there will be a much better opportunities as compared to undergraduate.
Yes, sir, I am also agree with you. Definitely the students should think for their higher education, those who are having the interest
Yes.
and wide scope is there. After B Farm, you will have some opportunities, but after M Farm, you will get specialized in some trust area and
Yes.
definitely some more career opportunities that will get open to all of you. And accordingly, you have to think for your career options also.
Right.
So I think most of the students have been asked the questions. If any question is there, definitely the sir will give the support to all of you. Sir, you want to share your number here?
Yes, yes, yes. I will share my number chat box. In the chat box, I'll share my number and
Yes,
email ID.
yes,
I have shared my number. Also, I'm sharing my email ID also. So please feel free to ask whatever you want to ask or contact me regarding this, whatever doubt you are having. Don't hesitate. Please feel free to ask anything, whatever you want, either by email or by directly. You can call me.
yes. Definitely, sir will be available for you at any time. Your decision is very important before you start your career, particularly in pharmacy field, because at UG level, the different opportunities are there. At PG level, definitely some other fields will get open to you. And at that time, if you are not having that all the information with you, and the decision making, that will be very much difficult. So you have to take some guidance from those who are having that expertise in their area, those who can guide to all of you, and you can take your decisions after your B Pharm course also. My suggestion is that whenever you will start your B Pharm course, right from the first year B Pharm, you should start to think about your all the career options, maybe higher education also, maybe for your job also, and maybe for your entrepreneurship. Because that accordingly you can develop yourself in your throughout the B Pharm course. And some students have been asked how to go for the research work at the time of your UG course also. So definitely that type of exposure you will get if you are having that type of interest at the UG level also. So I think most of the questions we have been covered, sir.
Yes.
Yes. So if anybody is having any doubt, you can ask directly by calling to the sir. He has shared his number, mobile number to all of you, and even email ID is also there. You can put a mail to sir. Definitely, he will give the support to all of you. Yes, sir. Thank you. Now we are at the end of this induction program. First of all, I'm very thankful to Dr. Avinash Tekade sir for his valuable and informative session that he has given for all the students, for all the participants, those who are M Pharm aspirants, and he has given a lot of exposure to various aspects, how to go for the M Pharm course, how to opt the research center, how to go for the research guide selection, and what type of infrastructure and facilities that are required, and how will you start your research. So that the things he has given the exposure, even for the Google Scholar and PubMed citations, how can you can go and see that all the information. He has given a lot of detailed information. Through this thorough information, definitely one can take a real decision about his career for the PG courses, for his higher education, particularly in M Pharm course. So this presentation was really helpful, useful. I'm very confident that the students will get the benefit and take their decisions with this all the information. So we are very thankful to you, sir, for your valuable
Thank you, sir.
guidance to our students and all the
Thank
participants
you.
also who have been participated in today's induction program. With this, I'm also thankful to our whole management team, not of Marathwada Mitra Mandal, that they have been provided this all the support, as well as our principal sir, Dr. Manohar Patil sir, that he has given the throughout the support for to conduct all the activities for the students for their higher education and career related activities. I'm also thankful to all the my colleagues and faculty members, those who are supported to conduct this program for the M Pharm aspirants. At the same time, I am also thankful to all the participants, all the students, all the M Pharm aspirants, those who have participated in today's session, and throughout the session they have listened very carefully and actively participated by asking some questions and doubts also. I'm very much thankful to them, and definitely I'm confident that they will take the benefit of this whole session and guidance given by the Dr. Avinash Tekade sir. Um, I'm lost. I'm very thankful to my all the colleagues and all the faculty members, staff members to conduct this whole activity. Thank you one and all. Thank you, sir, for your valuable
Thank you,
guidance
sir.
to all
Thank you.
participants.
Once again, I would like to thank you and Aruna Narale madam for her support and technical support and all these things. Without that, it was difficult for me.
Yes, sir, definitely. All the faculty has given the support and they have also attended the sessions also. One more thing, one more announcement I want to make it here. I have shared a feedback link in the chat box. All the participants are requested to fill up that feedback and submit that feedback so that they will get a participation certificate, attendance certificate of today's session. So this is a very important announcement to all of you. Thank you one and all once again. With the kind permission of our resource speaker, shall we end the today's session now? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you one and all. Thank you all the participants. Thank you once again. Over to you, Aruna madam.
Thank you, sir.
Excellent, sir.